Welcome to the Fruits Lab. In this lab, we're going to explore fruits and seeds and examine how their structures support plant reproduction and seed dispersal. Fruits represent the final stage of flower development in angiosperms. By studying fruits and seeds, we can work backwards to understand how flowers function and how plants ensure the survival of the next generation. As we move through the lab, you'll analyze different fruit types, examine seed structures, and connect those structures to ecological strategies for dispersal and reproduction. By the end of this lab, you should be able to distinguish several major fruit and seed types. You'll start by identifying the difference between true fruits and accessory fruits, depending on which floral tissues contribute to the final fruit. You'll also examine how fruits develop from flowers by comparing simple fruits, aggregate fruits, and multiple fruits. Next, you'll explore the diversity of fleshy fruits and how they help disperse seeds. You'll also distinguish between dry fruits that split open to release seeds and those that remain closed. Finally, you'll compare monocot and eudicot seeds and connect fruit and seed structures to their ecological roles in dispersal. Throughout the lab, keep in mind our central theme: structure supports function. Fruits are unique to angiosperms, or flowering plants. After fertilization occurs, the ovule develops into a seed while the surrounding ovary tissue matures into a fruit. Depending on the species, a fruit may contain a single seed or many seeds. The tissues that make up a fruit are collectively called the pericarp, which develops from the ovary wall. Fruits play two major roles for the plant. They protect developing seeds, and they help disperse those seeds into new environments where they can germinate and grow. In this lab, you'll see how fruit structure reflects these reproductive and ecological functions. The fruit wall is called the pericarp, and it typically consists of three layers. The exocarp forms the outer skin of the fruit. The mesocarp is the middle layer, which often becomes fleshy and edible in many fruits. The endocarp is the inner layer surrounding the seed. In some fruits, the endocarp becomes hard and stony, such as the pit in a peach. In other fruits, it remains soft. Understanding these layers will help you identify different fruit types later in the lab. In this lab, you'll be working with a variety of fruits and seeds to understand how their structures support reproduction and dispersal. First, you'll examine the internal structure of a seed using a soaked garden bean and corn. You'll identify features such as cotyledons, plumule, hypocotyl, and radicle, and compare the organization of monocot and eudicot embryos. Next, you'll investigate different types of fleshy fruits, including drupes, berries, pomes, aggregate fruits, and multiple fruits. As you examine these fruits, you'll identify the layers of the pericarp and consider how their structures help protect and disperse seeds. Then you'll look at dry fruits, including those that split open to release seeds and those that remain closed. Throughout the lab, you'll be making drawings, labeling structures, and comparing fruit types, so you can see how fruit structure reflects both plant reproduction and ecological strategies for seed dispersal.